Good morning and welcome to Jasiri. It's yet another beautiful Monday and it feels good to be back with my beautiful, bold and fearless Jasiri woman. I'm talking about Lolo and Kathy.
Oh,
good morning, ladies.
Clocking.
What are you clocking, Cupcake?
Everybody clocks these days. When they see nothing,
They do?
because the Gen Z's clock.
No, my kids told me, Mommy, stop. Don't.
Oh, God.
Mommy,
I
stop.
don't like when they do that. They make me feel as
say,
if,
Mommy, stop.
you don't deserve it. I still do it anyway.
So now I use their short forms for them. IKR, LMK.
I know, right?
No, Catherine, I can't deal with that because I had to tell Rola Simi.
Because I had to put it in their faces as well.
Like, I didn't understand what he was saying. He would just write something in abbreviation. I will have to ask him that, what did you say? You know, first give me one funny emoji like, oh, mommy, you're so old school. Then he will now say, I don't like that. I'm like, why don't you write, I don't like that?
No.
Which one is IDLK?
But even different languages, they have it as well. The French have
about,
it.
you know, all these, ASMR and everything. This particular clock, I remember when, someone started it. I don't remember who the person is, but the person started the whole clock it, whatever. And the next thing you know, your people came out to say that, oh, that it's witchcraft.
It's witchcraft sign.
It's
Yes, so I read that one.
Sometimes I have to thank God for the things that come on my timeline. I think they just know that that would just sound so preposterous.
You would have found it really. But anyway, my weekend was really restful. It was a weekend of films.
Yes.
I saw a lot of films, and it was so good to me that I came and made sure that I told the story to my girls here. It was very, very nice film. I enjoyed it. I even liked it so much, I sent it to my sister that, have you seen it? I didn't know I was the oldest in the game. Everybody has seen it for months. I'm just coming to it. And it was so fascinating. I watched a lot of films on Saturday.
Yeah,
it was just for me to, distress and just...
So what were you doing when you were watching the movies? Were you on your bed? Were you
No, I was in the living room because the kids were with me and they were trying to, just be around me. So I stayed in the living room with them. I watched it on the big screen. Yeah. Usually I watch in my phone, but I just...
Yeah, but you didn't snack on anything.
And I not cooked. She made akara, and it was really delicious and pap. So I ate my pap and akara right there. Yeah. While I watched, and I was hungry in another few hours.
So you had a restful weekend?
Yes, I did. I was supposed to go out yesterday, then it started raining.
Oh, yes, yesterday.
Rain spoiled
the
my
rain
day.
was really cool.
So it trapped you at home?
Yes. You know when you keep looking at the skies and looking at the weather?
Yeah.
When we finished from church and I could see everywhere was grey, I knew that the sun was not going to come out today, so I settled
just chilled, And you don't regret it, do you?
Not really. And we've been having longer days, shorter nights, longer nights, shorter days.
I've noticed that as well,
It's been so tiring. I woke up so early today, from like 3 o'clock.
What?
I had prayed, I had done everything. I just had to go to my other room. I started arranging my bags and things I didn't
At 3 a.m.?
Just to keep... It feels as if I've been sleeping forever.
Okay. Wow.
Oh my God.
No, I don't do that. No, I'm not avoiding. Jesus. That's what you have against me. What have you done to me? No, I had a calm weekend. I work on weekends, but man, the hustle is real, guys. I have to respect this hustle. Yes, the ladies on this table don't play. The hustle is very real. So I work at the weekends, but I also created time because I had made a mental note that I was going to attend to my plants today, that day. So I did attend to the plants. The kids always feel, and I talk to my plants. So, and I clean, and I clean them. So I got them.
Yes, she wipes the leaves.
Yes, and I get them showered. Water touches. I'm very. It's therapy for me. So I changed the soil in the pots, in the flower pots. It's like giving them a bath and all of that. So I got fresh soil, and my hands were in the ground because I dug for soil to take soil from the ground into. No, that's why I didn't do nails. I used that. I wanted to feel the soil because it rained, so it was moistened. So I did that. It's very satisfying. The children don't understand it. But it was very satisfying for me. So I transplanted them and I rearranged the... I'm waiting for Lara.
Wardrobe.
Lara, when you come back, yes.
Like
no, I didn't. No,
wardrobe.
yeah, but I rearranged how the plants stay at home and I really love it.
I love gardening, but I don't have a green thumb.
Yeah.
So I garden vicariously. I have a mini garden at home, but I know does the planting because And I actually planted curry leaf, and it started growing.
There you go.
I was so proud of me. But Nimi and I went to plant some dead ones in
my
there.
mom let my roses die.
Die?
I had a lot. I had like
Let it
white,
die.
Rose
yellow.
bushes?
Yes, yellow, white, pink. I had all the colors, right? And you know, when I was at home, I usually took care
Tend
of it
to
and
them.
all that. I would tend to it and all that.
Oh.
But then, as soon as I left,
They died.
And
in fact, she replaced it with grass. I don't know what kind
Ah!
of. I'm telling you.
Mama,
I
na.
used to use it for skincare back then as well.
Oh.
And all that. And
And
then
I have a lot
had
of
this
aloe at
Queen
home,
of the
aloe
Night
vera.
as
And we
well.
have a big pot of aloe vera.
I had
But
a
sometimes
Queen
I
of
don't
the
know what
Night
to
as
do
well
with
in
it.
front of the house.
Hello? You don't know what to do with aloe vera.
Because if you use it directly, it itches your skin.
No, it doesn't
No, it
itch your
doesn't.
skin. You have to just take there are processes to take the aloe, the gel from the, you don't need to soak it. You take it and it's perfect for skin.
You can use spoon. You can use a spoon and
so
scrape
just scrape
it.
Just
so it's
okay.
jelly.
It's a conversation
It's a
away
conversation.
from.
Yeah.
Away from here. But yeah,
right.
how was your weekend? Ashley?
I was trying to.
How was your weekend?
Don't mind
Lady,
it.
Well, I don't know the last time I actually rested, you know, during my weekend. I had lots of classes and assignments to submit and all
your
that.
course mates.
They're there annoying me every day. I'm telling you.
day.
God, those people are insufferable. God. So, but aside that, I had that, and then I did a lot of cooking as well because I was expecting family, and they did turn up en masse.
Yes.
Yesterday, they came. Some of them didn't want to leave, you know, and all that. So I took
What
them
did you
out.
What did you make?
I made me and busheshon kubewa.
What
Okay.
is that? What's that?
Busheshon kubewa is just dried okra, right? So I promised you guys, but then not now, not yet. Okay, I'll do that next when they leave. So I made that, right? And then I made stew, and then I made rice, jollof rice.
Did you use more
jelly rice?
What did you call it?
No, just to have, just to have something to, you know, just to keep it because I'm going to be at work, you know, for the whole week, so I won't be always there to cook and all that. So I made jollof rice, you know, and with chicken and plantain.
That's a lot of cooking.
Yes, it was.
And for only your humble self, you are the one person who did all of that.
Yes,
Well done.
alone.
Did you manage to rest at all?
I think I did briefly.
Okay.
I did drive our brother's car. Scared her.
That was the highlight. It was so funny.
scared her knee.
It was so funny. I kept laughing all the way.
Every weekend, most of the time when I look at social media, I found out that sometimes keeping away from social media can actually give you a bit of ease because there is no time you step on the page, on the streets of social media that you don't come back with either something scares you off or you are like flabbergasted at something or you are wowed about something or something catches your eye and make you envy, you know.
And you just feel like, wow, nah, man, I don't need this, and close it back.
Yes.
And you don't bother. It happened to me too yesterday when I just said, let me just go. And the first story I saw that jumped at me, I said, nah, man, this is too much for me. I'm not ready for this.
It's quite a lot.
Emotion. It was a woman who was talking. She was on an emotional stroll down her life, and she was just.
If you had seen what I saw this morning,
man.
as soon as I opened my phone, right before I
closed
got
that
ready,
book.
I just closed it. Allegedly, I saw a video of bandits allegedly, you know, in a alleged senator's house, allegedly, you know, collecting their Nigerian passports.
In fact, that must be AI.
So
Let's
I was like,
attribute
yes.
it to AI.
Nah,
There's so many things that are just wrong on so many levels, and our hearts go to the entertainment industry. We did lose one of our legends yesterday, Taiwo Hassan, popularly called Ogogo. I believe that he would be interred today.
Wait, was it the same one whose daughter came out?
Yes, last
had
week.
Stage 4
I know that
cancer?
a lot of times when Nigerians love their loved ones, and I did say that I really desire that they had not gone on to maybe look for further treatment. They could have just allowed him spend time with his family, you know, just be with them. Maybe that would have bought him a little more time, because if doctors are advising you that chemo no longer, they will not work, or radiation, that maybe palliative care or take him to a hospice. I know we see it like resigning, but sometimes people that have been sick for some time, you might just be giving them an opportunity to
To live.
To live.
But when the daughter came
more.
out, she did say that her father has a strong will to leave, and that was why she came out to plead if there's anything that can be done instead of, just ruling.
And you know that Nigerians will always do what they do best. Everybody will bring all sorts of things. But I understand the pain of losing a parent because I'm an orphan myself, so both my parents are gone. I understand their pain and, wishing to keep him here. But we thank God that he left a legacy of work and will be fondly remembered for all the wonderful, films and everything he did for the film industry.
Okay, well, for many women battling breast cancer, the fight goes beyond the diagnosis. The cost of surgery, chemotherapy, radiotherapy, and medication can make treatment difficult to afford. It is against this reality that our guest today, Oluwatofunmi Adebayo, founder of We Are Friends Co. initiative, took on and successfully, this particular challenge of climbing Mount Kilimanjaro to raise funds for 20 women battling breast cancer who cannot afford their treatment. We speak with Oluwatofunmi after the break to learn more about the inspiration behind the climb, the women at the heart of the campaign, and the bigger conversation around the cost of cancer treatment in Nigeria. But first,
a government office, an appointment letter, an alleged fake agency are now document that could raise even more questions about how the operation was allowed to function from inside the very premises of the Office of the Secretary to the government of the Federation. A bizarre and high-level scandal has rocked the nation's seat of power in Abuja, with President Bola Tinubu ordering the immediate arrest of Nwabueze Buchi George and suspension of 3 permanent secretaries who have been accused of operating the National Brands Development and Made in Nigeria Special Projects Office as a fake government agency. Let's listen.
To Mr. President, on the ongoing investigations into the fake Presidential Foreign Intervention Promotion Council, PFIPC, and procedural weaknesses in the public service, the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, has uncovered another fake agency and office operating under the name National Brands Development and Mandates in the Nigeria Special Project Office, which had been illegally allocated office space within the premises of the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation. In light of the above, Mr. President has directed that the ICPC provides information surrounding this development in the spirit of transparency and accountability. The discovery of the fake office/agency, National Brands Development and Made in Nigeria Special Project Office by the ICPC was made in the course of ICPC's broader investigation as earlier directed by Mr. President, His Excellency President Bola Tinubu, GCFR. The fake agency/office, National Brands Development and Made in Nigeria Special Project Office, was promoted by one George Buchi Nwabueze, with active suspected collaborators in the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation, contrary to the external laws and without authorization of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The promoter, George Buchi Nwabueze, was discovered to also operate under 4 other variations of his name: George Nathan Nwabueze, Honorable George Buchi Nwabueze, Prince George Buchi Nwabueze, and George Buchi and George Nwabueze. The ICPC has interacted with the Office of the Secretary to the Government of the Federation with a view to ascertaining vital information with regard to the fake agency/office under investigation. I have briefed Mr. President comprehensively on these new developments. ICPC will continue with its investigations. Accordingly, Mr. President has directed as follows: A, immediate arrest of Prince George Buchi Nwabueze. B, immediate suspension of the following permanent secretaries: 1, MS Njuma; 2, Engineer Nedungu Gagari; 3, Richard P. Pilengwa. Finally, President Bola Tinubu, GCFR, must be commended for the proactive step of directing the forensic audit of IPPIS and internal government processes towards strengthening governance system.
All right, but George is pushing back, producing an appointment letter which he says was issued by the secretary to the government of the Federation's office and appointed him to head the project for 5 years. So, if this letter is authentic, how did an allegedly fake government agency secure an official-looking appointment, office space within this OSGF complex and correspondence with state governments? Okay, so let's go live to Abuja, where our correspondent, Bettina Nweli, is standing by to give us the latest on this. Bettina, good morning.
Good morning, Catherine. Good morning, everyone on the Jasiri team. This is an important topic that has been trending all weekend, and it's no surprise that even on Monday morning, it is still trending.
Yeah. Okay, so let's start with the latest on ground. Since the announcement, what's the mood like on ground, and what exactly did the ICPC uncover? Has Nwabueze been formally taken into custody? What are next steps following President Bola Tinubu's directives?
Well, following back from the briefing we had last week Friday with the ICPC chairman, who briefed us on this new update of a new agency that is not legit, we were briefed, we were told the name of the person and also the orders that the president had given. But over the weekend, we've seen, just like you said, the said Judge Nwabueze pushing back and bringing more information via his LinkedIn profile. Now, according to that letter that he published on LinkedIn, yes, the letter came from the office of the secretary to the Federation. However, it wasn't signed by the SGF. If you look closely at that letter, you can see that the name on that letter is the second name of the permanent secretary who has been suspended. So over the weekend, I remember the breakfast team asking why those people were suspended, but now we can get to know why and link the facts together, that the second name on the list is one of the permanent secretaries that was suspended, and his name is the name that is signed as giving this man his official letter for the position. Also, George has also laid claims to say that this particular organization or agency didn't just come up and has existed since far back as 2010. According to him, the FEC, that's the Federal Executive Council, in 2017 actually gave the legal backing for the organization, and he was appointed in 2025. So there are a lot of, discrepancies here and there, and we are waiting to see what further updates will be given to us. As of now, we haven't gotten any information to say, yes, he has legally been arrested and taken into custody. Even though the go-ahead has been given for that, we are yet to confirm that indeed he has been arrested or found, or even if they know where he is to be located. But the case does seem a bit funky because there are a lot of back and forth, especially because he had an office space in the building of the SGF.
You took that question right out of my mouth, because I was going to ask before that he was operating from the OSGF complex at room B53. How is it possible for a fake agency to set up physical operations inside, the nation's primary administrative building without raising immediate red flags? It makes it mind-boggling that I would just carry a bag, go to an office, and operate from there since 2025. How do we reconcile that?
So again, Lola, this raises a lot of questions. We're talking about different things involved in this particular agency scam. Apart from the fact that his office is in the building of the SGF, we also need to look at how this is affecting Nigeria on a broader scale. Investor confidence, because now we're having we have the first agency scam, we're having the second agency scam, and these people are interfacing with people from outside of the country. They are interfacing with investors. What does this say about Nigeria as a nation? Are we saying that Nigeria is going to be so porous as to allow, such organizations to exist without being legal, especially within the presidency, within the government? how does that speak well of Nigerians? Another thing we have to look at is the systemic fraud that is going on, around these things. It now becomes a risk because it means that, documents are not safe. Decisions that are taken are not safe. Even individuals who are seeking employment under the government agencies are not safe because they could wake up one day and tell you that your agency is not legit. So that means you do not have a job. So there are a lot of things going into this, and I'm sure that as the investigation proceeds, we'll be able to get more information and more answers to, the questions that Nigerians are asking.
Yeah. All right, Bettina, but then what happens next, and what should Nigerians be looking out for as the investigation continues?
Well, thankfully, currently, we've been told that no monies have been, embezzled in the course of this agency scam. I'm hoping that that remains true. But Nigerians should expect, I think, more discoveries of maybe some of these agencies, more of these agencies. I'm not convinced that there are just 2 of such in existence, but I'm pretty hopeful that this forensic investigation will, first of all, authenticate whether those letters were real and indeed from the office of the SGF. And then secondly, it would also show us who the culprits are within the office of the SGF and within the government entirely, because it's not just the office of the SGF. According to the claims that this George Nwabueze has made, he allegedly has worked with the Anambra state government. So if he's already working with state governments, then it means that this has gone maybe too far, or there's something that we are still missing that we are yet to find out.
All right, Bettina, thank you so much for bringing us up to speed on this staggering security and administrative breach. Thank you. We'll continue to follow the investigation as it unfolds. Thank you, B.
Thank you.
So still ahead on Jasiri, we meet Oluwatofunmi Adebayo, who conquered Mount Kilimanjaro to raise funds for 20 women battling breast cancer. What inspired the climb? What does this campaign say about the cost of cancer treatment in Nigeria? And so many more questions. Stay with us.
Welcome back to Jasiri. Mount Kilimanjaro rises nearly 5,900 meters above sea level, and that is a fact. It is one of Africa's most recognizable and demanding climbs. Now imagine climbing nearly 6,000 meters above sea level, not for a medal, not for a record, and not even for yourself, but for women you've never met and may never have the power to save on your own. For Oluwatofunmi Adebayo, climbing Africa's highest mountain was never simply about reaching the summit. He climbed to raise funds for 20 women battling breast cancer, women whose fight does not end with a diagnosis, because for many, there is another mountain standing between them and survival: the cost of treatment. So a recent study found that the average cost of breast cancer care in Nigeria was about $5,193 US, while the average annual capacity to pay was significantly lower. That's about $2,867 US. So what that means is that for some families, treatment means borrowing money, selling possessions, or even taking on debts. And now that he has made it to the summit, the question is, can one man's extraordinary climb help these women climb out of a crisis that thousands of Nigerians face every day? Oluwatofunmi Adebayo, welcome to Jasiri.
Hi, good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Good
Good to have you.
It's
Yes,
so
thank
good
you
to
so
have
much.
you. Wow, very great accomplishment.
Thank you.
Are you and some associates, you successfully climbed Mount Kilimanjaro? But before we talk about the mountain, you need to take us back to the beginning, because there must be a why.
Okay.
Where did the idea come from? Where did you decide that this climb had to be about something bigger than you?
Okay, so I'm an adventurous person, and I've always traveled around Nigeria, and so far I've done 32 states in Nigeria. So, and I've done few mountains. The highest mountain in West Africa, in Taraba, Mountain of Death, Chapawadi. That was my first highest mountain I hiked. And I also hiked one mountain in Ivory Coast and Liberia. So initially, I didn't have the intention to use it for a course. It has been on my mind for over a year to has been part of my life list to hike Kilimanjaro. So 2 months to the expenditure, I just thought about it that there are people that cycle around from London to Lagos to raise costs for sustainability, for girl child, and I lost my mom to breast cancer 3 years ago. So I'm like, this will be like another avenue to raise funds for women battling cancer, because funding cancer is like one of the most difficult things out there right now. So that was when the whole idea came up, and I spoke with some of my friends and they were like, let's do it. So that was how it started.
Wow.
Yeah.
So would you say it was a personal thing for you because you just said you lost your mom to breast cancer? Because I'm wondering, what would make you take on this kind of cause that is worth exerting yourself so physically for?
Okay, yes. So like I said, it's a personal story. I saw what my mom went through while she was battling cancer. And in Nigeria, there's also like a stigmatization around women. Women don't come out to like talk when they when they discover they have it. So I'm like, this is another avenue. And also, we lacked finances during my mom's journey. And I did research and I found out that the cost of cancer is really high, and a lot of women cannot afford it. So I'm like, this is another avenue for me to
raise awareness and raise money.
Exactly, yeah.
All right, now, you chose to raise funds specifically for 20 women, right? Who are these women? Do you know them? And what did you discover about their individual battles that made this, mission personal for you?
Okay, I don't know them. So while we were planning, we reached out to cancer partners, our health partners. There are NGOs that take care of women battling cancer. So we reached out to Nona Foundation. They are based in Abuja, and like 2 other NGOs. And we are filmmakers, we are storytellers. I don't have access to all of these women. So we reached out to them to come partner with us as care partners. And they will be the one to lead us to the women. Currently, we are collating the list of people that desperately need the funds so we can support them. So currently, I don't know them. So our health partners will lead us to them.
So before Lolo comes up, I just want to ask, while you were climbing the mount, did you climb alone or did you go with a tour guide?
You can't climb Kilimanjaro alone because of the old government policy in Tanzania. So one of my friends did it last year, Miriam. We already did the mountain in Liberia together. So she informed me that she wanted to do Kilimanjaro, but I was not prepared then. So she did it, and she really inspired me.
She climbed the summit?
Yeah, she did. She did solo, alone. So I'm like, if Miriam can do it, I can. So she linked me up with the tour guide, and I reached out to him. We planned it, and I don't want to do it alone, so I checked my circle and I found out that I have some few friends that are really adventurous like me, Daniel and Enya. So I reached out to them, and immediately Daniel was like, oh, let's go, Tofumi, I'm ready.
Sorry, how long did it take for you to get to the summit?
It took 7 days.
Oh, wow, a whole week?
A whole week, yeah. So we always walk every day. We climb, we hike, we walk 10 hours, 15 hours.
And then
Let's talk about the climb itself. I know that, I watch a lot of adventure series, and I have a budding adventurer in my home too. Yeah. So what would you say was the hardest moment on the mountain? And what would you say kept you moving when your body was telling you, I'm tired? Because I know hiking is not easy. The weather changes, the way it affects your body, food, water. There's so many things, even psychologically. You can begin to see things when no day there. Well, I don't start, but all those things together, what gave you that courage to keep putting one foot in front of the other? Okay,
so I almost gave up. And 6 months into the expedition, I started training. I ran every day. I did a lot of exercises to prepare myself, my diet and all of that. So one of the tedious things was the weather. I always thought I liked cold weather. So when we are talking about -1, -2 degrees on the mountain, so that was when I found out that no, guy, you don't like
Cooler than AC.
Yeah. So the weather was really like one of the first things that really like affected, and also we have to always like walk every day, 15 hours, 10 hours climbing. So at some point we had to like reduce our load. So we had porters that were helping us like with our luggages. So yeah, that was.
Wow. Just imagining, I'm seeing all those films when the snow will be they'll be fighting the weather to just keep moving forward.
Watch Apex.
It's not.
I have seen Apex.
It's not for the weak. So that means that nobody can just get up without checking if you're fit to say you're going to the mountain, you're climbing a mountain. Because you said you had to change diet, you had to.
I think it's a thing of the mind. If you spend like 5 hours, 10 hours at the gym, it doesn't matter. I think it's a thing of the mind. Anyone can hike Kilimanjaro. It's not easy.
Okay.
I will not lie, but anyone can do it.
All right, so just before we go ahead, we need to take a quick breather. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us.
Thank you very much for staying with us. On Jasiri today, we still have Oluwatofunmi, who has climbed Mount Kilimanjaro. We're trying to raise money for 20 women battling breast cancer. Thank you very much for staying with us. So let's get to the final, because you did tell us that it was quite a journey, and you had like three of you started the journey together. So when you finally stood at the summit, you know, after everything it took to get there.
Yeah.
You know, what was the first thing that came to mind? Did you feel like, you know, all those, the first man
Mama, I made it.
To put a flag in space in your suit, like, Mama, I made it. I've signed my name in the annals of history. And did every one of you make it? Because you said you had a couple of your friends.
Yes, so I went with 2 of my friends, and only 2 of us made it.
Wow.
Yeah, one of us had to like go back because of health issues. So getting there, my initial plan was that I was going to cry, that, oh, I got to the summit. But the last phase of the last lap was so like really difficult for me. And when I got there, I couldn't even cry. I just wanted to like take pictures and just leave. And the tour guides were like, I don't have much time to spend there because I was low on oxygen. And I had to like, they led me down with oxygen tubes on my nose. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. The higher you climb on someone, the altitudes affect your
the lower oxygen. Yeah, the oxygen.
But were you
level.
dizzy when you were there looking down?
So for the final phase, we always it's always done in the night. So you start hiking around 11 p.m. so that by the time you get there, you get to the sunrise. And early in the morning, the weather is always so cool. So when it's around 10 a.m., the weather is always so bad, so it's not advisable. So we always like start hiking from 11 p.m. So it's like a 7-hour hike. So we got there 6:30.
You are climbing
with our headlamps. So we got there around 6:30 a.m. While going, I was nauseous. I vomited a lot of times.
Wow.
And I can't even recollect how I got there, because I was hiking and sleeping.
Where?
Yeah, I even like almost like fainted at some point. So I can't recollect how I got there, but they just woke me up, that guy.
Yeah. What did you eat on the trail? Were you eating rats and lizards and beef jerky?
So our tour company like managed that. So we always like, they fed us well. Even the food I don't eat in my house. We had like buffets on the mountain. Yeah, 3 square meal. We were taken care of very well. So we did more of fluids, water, energy drinks, painkillers, and all of sorts. Yeah, sugar to also like keep us
going.
All right, Oluwatofunmi, now what was the fundraising target, right? What does the campaign currently stand, or where does the campaign currently stand? Were you successful in that mission? Would you say that? And how will the funds be distributed amongst, you know, the 20 women? And how will you ensure that the money reaches the treatment needs, you know, that it was raised for?
Okay, so our target was 20 women, and our fundraising limit was 40 million. So we budgeted like 2 million per women. So the plan was not to like fully fund their treatment, because we don't know the stage, cancer stages each women that we're going to get are on. So the plan was to like distribute like 2 million amongst the women. Currently, we've raised 3 million. We are still hoping to get more, but like I said, we have like care partners that will help us like do all of that, and we have a startup that will follow closely with them because we are just storytellers. We are not really into the health, so the care partners relate with the startup that is helping us like track the way the funds and everything, and all of the women that are going to benefit. We also like document that because the whole world needs to see. We need to be accountable with what we use the money for.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, I do appreciate that a lot of young people are taking the initiative to do, things that are out of, the norm to be able to help other people. So, before this campaign started, how aware were you about, the financial burden? I know you said your mother did pass from breast cancer, and how did you, understand, the financial implication of treating this dreaded disease?
Okay, so my mom is like an example, and I also like have like 2 friends that currently like battled.
Wow.
Yeah, they are survivors now, like my age range, and I also like learned from them because chemotherapy treatment is above like 10 million, 15 million naira in Nigeria currently. So I was able to find out from my mom and my other friends that also like battled it. And when I lost my mom, I started like working on a documentary. It's Swollen. I titled it Swollen. So I was able to also like get women survivors, and everyone had like a same pattern, finances, and that was when I saw the need to also like do this.
Wow.
So when families are selling property, borrowing heavily, or going into debt to keep a loved one alive, what does that tell you about the gaps in our healthcare, especially in financing, the healthcare financing system? And do you believe that Nigerians understand just how financially devastating a cancer diagnosis can be over the course of treatment?
I don't think Nigerians know until maybe you have a family member, because lately, like for the past 2 months, we've had people that lost their life.
Yes,
yesterday we still lost like an icon. So families don't really know the extent where you need the funds to like cater for health center until you start like going through diagnosis. And I've seen a lot of women stop going to the hospital, seeking about remedies, some going to church to seek like religions and all of that. And I think, I don't want to talk about politics, but I think I really like have a long way to go about financing cancer. That's why we have a lot of NGOs that are ready to like support people, because it's not easy. It's becoming like a big thing. Cancer now is really becoming a big thing. So yeah.
So what's next for you after the successful climb of the Kilimanjaro? Do you, and what plans do you have to keep this dream of yours alive and to ensure that the campaign doesn't just end with the successful climb of Kilimanjaro?
I currently run a collective with my friend, my co-founder is behind the camera. So Friends Collective is a collective where we bring in filmmakers, photographers, writers to like tell important stories, underreported stories, because we believe that a lot of stories are unseen. Yeah, so one of the first projects we did was a fisherman in Bariga, where we documented the story and we helped him raise funds to like fix his shelter in Bariga. He had like a pollution issue that affected his shelter. So we documented him, did like a fundraising, and we're able to like help him fix his house. That was like our first project. So this one is our second project, Summit for Care. So we had like 3 phases. The climb, that's the Kilimanjaro. Then the second phase is the awareness and supporting the women. Then the final phase is where we'll show the documentary I talked about, the Swollen documentary, where people will come and listen to like survivors and all of that. And we're also like planning that we'll be doing this yearly, maybe next year, because every October is Cancer Awareness Month. So we'll find maybe something to do because we are storytellers. So we just like find something to do, a quest to do to also like support and raise awareness. We keep doing this because it's a personal story for me.
All right,
Oluwatofunmi.
What did you call him?
So, what would you say to other young Nigerians, who want to use their talents, platforms, or even personal challenges, to create social impact, but do not know where or how to start?
For us, we just started. So that's the only thing I can say. Just start. We have a lot of personal stories around us. I've worked on documentaries on postpartum depression because my sister had postpartum depression. And currently I'm working on breast cancer story. So there are a lot of stories around you, and relatable stories are really like always so important. So I would just say start with whatever you have. I'm always like, not always like out there on social media, but this Summit for Care project made me like come out more. I've been in front of camera telling people about all of this. So you just need to start and see where it's going to get you.
How is your mental health in all of this? How is your mental health? You're doing so much.
My mental health is good. I'm good.
All right, we need to go on a quick break. And you do look like an Uduak, by the way. So let's take that break.
Thank you very much for staying with us on Jasiri this beautiful Monday morning. And of course, we have Oluwatofunmi here with us, who has told us of, the great initiative he took upon himself to climb Mount Kilimanjaro to raise awareness for cancer support and financially support 20 women who are battling breast cancer. Thank you very much, Tofunmi. We'll be listening to, everything. I could just hear resilience. I could see a lot of passion in the things that you're doing, being storytellers and willing to document as you go. Because I believe that posterity always gain from storytelling. Because people that will come after can look at the works that you have done and be able to, maybe scale on some of the things you have done. So finally, because our time is almost gone, when you look back at, this journey from decision to the climb of Kilimanjaro, what do you hope that people would remember? The mountain you climbed, or, the women you climbed it for?
So something I learned from climbing was resilience. And if you want to like do things, just go ahead and do it. Because at some point I nearly gave up while in the climb. But I remember that, I'm doing this for a cause. If I got to the peak or not, people will still like support and but getting to the peak was one of like the most
high point.
Yeah, I think for me, and I think I want to also like go again.
Because I was going to say you look like someone who
that wants the next time you might be, who knows where he might be going.
Yeah, because I miss the mountains already. So
I can imagine. that they have to
do Everest next, right?
Oh,
Everest.
No.
Oluwatofunmi, thank you so much for joining us at the table this morning and sharing your experience with us. And thank you for pushing for breast cancer awareness, and also for us to know that we need to stop sitting on the sidelines and take active participation in this. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Guys, so Oluwatofunmi Adebayo has conquered Mount Kilimanjaro, but the real achievement lies in the reason behind the climb, raising funds for 20 women battling breast cancer. Their stories highlight a bigger reality. For many Nigerian families, the cost of cancer treatment can be as overwhelming as the disease itself. While one climb cannot solve Nigeria's cancer financing crisis, it can spark the conversations and the action needed to make treatment more accessible. Thank you so much for the privilege of your time, like Tolu would say, on Jasiri. We hope we've earned that privilege. We'll be here tomorrow, and hopefully Tab will be seated right there, and Dash will be sitting right here. See you tomorrow. Tofunmi, well done. Thank you so much.